In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said fair in the eyes of men, or beautified in the eyes of men, and He started subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning women. So the biggest and the most attractive thing in the life of the man is women, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning here. Then we go to the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, ما تركت بعدي فتنة أضر على الرجال من النساء. I have not left any trials after me more harmful to men than women. How do you understand this hadith? We understand that the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came as a messenger. So his life was a test, a major test, the biggest test for the human being, to either accept or reject, to be in the hellfire or in the Jannah. That's the biggest fitna. After his death, the biggest fitna he sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned is women. Which means, if a woman knows that she is the biggest trial for man, then she needs to watch out. Because women are created, they love to show off, they love beauty, they love to be commended, they love wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, أَوَمَنْ يُنَشَّأُ فِي الْحِلْيِ, like they are born and made out of glamour. So, if a woman is like that, created like that, and this kind of creation is a major thing for deviation for men, then the woman needs to watch out. She needs to have control over her desires in order for her not to deviate herself and deviate men with her. If a man looks at a woman, it's a problem, one problem. If a woman beautifies herself, it's a lot more than one problem. It's a problem for her breaking the law, and it is a problem for every man who looks at her. She carries the same sin that the person has. So it is more dangerous for her. So many of those ayat and hadith that talks about women sometimes they take it a negative way. Meaning, they, like when you say, Prophet Muhammad said, النساء حبائل الشيطان. Women are the ropes of the shaitan. It doesn't sound too good. If you think about it quickly without really thinking about what does it mean, you immediately connect women with shaitan. Because you say, ropes of the shaitan. No, it means that the shaitan uses women just like a person has a rope. He uses it to tie things with and drags them and guide them and control them. It's like a rein. The shaitan uses women in such a way to deviate them. And what does he do? He concentrates on the things that they like. I was watching a video referring to that. They're acting like some person acting like a shaitan. Now this is irrespective of halal or haram. And a woman is going out. She's wearing her hijab. She looks at herself in the mirror. Then the shaitan comes. He goes, what's going on? You're not going to go like this. I mean, come on. Just put a little makeup on you. You look like you just woke up. And she concentrates a little bit more on her face. And he said, come on. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, look at yourself. And the next thing you know, she's doing makeup. Then she's ready to go. He said, what is this you're wearing over? Show a little bit of your hair. Don't be so awkward. Hijab doesn't have to cover 100% of your hair. Do a little bit of style over here. He continued to whisper to her until she came out, completely different outfit. She changed the whole dress and everything, makeup, showing hair, latest fashion for hijab. This is exactly what the shaitan does. He comes from the avenues that women like or don't like to and he uses them. We know that we have spoken about how a husband, what are the steps that a husband needs to follow to please his wife, and what are the steps that a wife needs to follow to please her husband, which we are looking for a happy family, which in turn will have a happy society, a society that is built on taqwa, because the whole purpose of the creation is to serve Allah and to establish a righteous human being. And we start from the family. We talked about those. But we need to keep in our mind that nothing stays as is. This is life. You cannot be laughing all the time. Sometimes you're going to cry. You cannot be happy all the time. Sometimes you're going to be sad. You cannot be wealthy all the time. Sometimes you're going to be poor. And some people might wonder, how am I going to be poor? Not very many people, they are so rich and all of a sudden poor. No. It doesn't have to be poor in the sense you got nothing. No, you have money. It's in the bank. You travel. You lose your wallet. You're very poor. You end up begging. You end up maybe going to the masjid and say, I need money for a ticket to go home. You got a lot of money, but you cannot really give. So a person will feel different than that. You cannot be sick all the time. There will come times that you feel healthy, even if it's through the medicine. So forth. The same thing with marital life. We talk about happiness. Now, if every husband follows the steps and every wife follows the steps, they're not going to be all the time happy. There will arise some differences and some problems. One thing I want to pass to you before we talk about those problems and how to deal with them, there are some guidelines I want you to pay attention to. Number one, remember that the biggest goal of the shaitan is to destroy the family. That is his number one goal. Because he knows if he destroys the family, he destroyed the society, period. So shaitan, it was, some hadith mentioned that the shaitan, he cast his throne, and then he sends his people. And they will come back. What did you do? I have made somebody to drink alcohol. Get out of here. You haven't done anything. What have you done? I made someone commit zina. Get out of here. You haven't done anything. What have you done? I separated between a husband and a wife. Come here, give me a hug. Get closer to me. Because zina, what's the big deal? Shaitan knows the stuff for Allah takes care of it. Sincere stuff for Allah takes care of it. But when you ruin a family, this thing is going to be spread out. It's not just the family, it's going to go to the children, and the children go into affect the society, and the children, their friends, and so forth, so you end up with a total community that is messed up. So the shaitan, number one aim is to destroy a family, and the best way to do that is through arguments. Again, one of those videos talks about that, and it's so nice. The man is sitting, his wife comes from the kitchen, bringing him a nice cup of hot tea, sitting on the chair and watching TV. The phone rang, she went to pick it up. Hello, nobody's there. She said, oh, yes, hung up. Came, put the drink and everything, and sat down. She sitting right there, and then the shaitan comes to the husband. He said, who is that for? Ask her. It could be someone calling for her. That's a sign between her and him. So he went, who just called? She said, I don't know. He hung up. And she said, and then the shaitan comes, look at her, how she responded to you. In a very harsh way. Ask her. And he said, could it be a sign between you and someone? And then the shaitan comes to her. Listen how he is accusing you. And then she goes, Why could it be assigned between some of you and the girls who are calling you? Why is it me? And they start screaming at one another. The next thing is the wife said, divorce me, I want you to divorce me right now. And he said, go to hell, you're divorced. This is exactly the problems that arise. The shaitan comes from angles. And he knows how to spread enmity among people, especially the husband and the wife. Stern words. Husband uses sometimes harsh words. Harsh words, they have an echo. Even after the dispute is over, they still resonate. They are destroying and stacking up and ruining the emotional feelings between the husband and the wife. Some husbands, they tend to be quiet. They figure that when you have an argument, just be quiet. Don't talk, don't say anything, and that will solve it. This is a very negative way of solving problems between you and your spouse. Because what that does, you still have the anger there, any little thing is going to come back again. And what does that do? It leads the person to personality complex. You are quiet and you're taking all those arguments and everything and keeping them inside of you. So either you let it go and deal with it in a nice way, or forget it completely. But to just be silent, it's a horrible way even for people. Some people, when they see the other person not responding, anger is magnified and it gets really worse. Some people tend to want to become victorious when they have a problem, on the other side. Like they will throw a word and walk off without listening to the response. Some people, they tend to make fun of the other person, mock them, or imitate them in a negative way, or move their face, or their act, or their voice, or any of those. And some people tend to cuss and curse. أبو إسحاق رضي الله عنه يقول سمعت أبا عبد الله الجدلي يقول سألت عائشة عن خلق النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Aisha رضي الله عنها was asked about the manners of Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. قالت لم يكن فاحشا ولا متفحشا ولا صخبا في الأسواق ولا يجزي بالسيئة السيئة ولكن يعفو ويصفح. Here is the description of the manners of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never used indecency nor invokes it. He doesn't raise his voice and scream in the market like people do. And he doesn't pay the evil deed with an evil deed. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, rather, he would forgive the person and let go. كان يقول صلى الله عليه وسلم إن خياركم إن من خياركم أحسنكم خلق. The best among you are the one with the good manners. Aisha radiallahu anha, a Jewish person, entered at the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he says something to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is, rather than saying Assalamu alaikum, he said Assalamu alaikum. Assalam means al-maut. Salam means death upon you rather than peace upon you. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ understood it. Aisha radiallahu anha got angry immediately. So Aisha radiallahu anha, she cursed him immediately. Listen to what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told her. He said, Nahlan ya Aisha, alayki bil-rifq. Calm down, Aisha. Be kind. Be gentle with the way you talk. وَإِيَّاكِ وَالْعُنْفِ وَالْفُحْشِ. Be away from being violent or being indecent or use foul language. فقالت عائشة أولم تسمع ما قالوا يا رسول الله. Didn't you hear what they said or what he said, O Prophet of Allah? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم رددت عليهم فيستجاب لي ولا يستجاب لهم. He said, I said وعليكم and upon you. So I answered him, Allah will accept my answer and He will not accept his. So I did it in a very nice, decent way. I did not use foul language. I did not say Assam alayk. I said, why? If you did something good, then get something good back. If you did not, then whatever you deserve, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it to you. So here is how Aisha radiallahu anha was answered by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أنس رضي الله عنه يقول خدمت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم 10 سنين فلا قال لي يوما لشيء فعلته لما فعلته ولا لشيء تركته لما تركته. I want you to reflect a little bit on this. Anas رضي الله عنه, he served Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم 10 years. We're talking served. Bring the food, bring the drink, prepare this, prepare that, give me this, give me that. It's not just one command or two. It is a daily thing. He said, I served Prophet Muhammad ﷺ 10 years. He never told me about something I have done. Why did you do it? Or something I did not do. Why didn't you? Okay. You can't even live with your mother, your wife. It's impossible. 10 years, and this is not Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saying that, this is Anas radiallahu anhu saying that, so that tells you what kind of manners Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had. Husbands and wives need to understand, these are some of the guidelines, that the differences among them has a negative result on both of them. Now you know that when you have a problem with someone you love, it affects you more than having a problem with someone you don't know. And this one affects women more than men because they are more emotional. Another thing is, some people may have wealth, the wife or the husband may be wealthier than the other, and they may be having better education. Both of them have to understand, using wealth or status or education is a major problem if they were to use that against the other person when the problems arise. Imagine you have a problem with your wife and she didn't understand something and you say, no wonder, you didn't even finish high school. Look at the impact. And look at the impact if the wife uses that against her husband. If she tells him something like that, or she knows a certain failure in his life about something, like a husband is opening a business, did not go through, this is not the first time, you're a big loser. Every time you get into something, this is something that both of them have to stay away from. One major thing, one major guideline, happiness is by being content. It can never be from money, it can never be from wealth, it can never be from beauty. It is from contentment, to be happy with what you got. And don't look at what other people have. Every person who is stressed out, who is living miserably, usually they copy other people and they look at other people. All the time. He's got this or she's got that, and he bought this and he bought that. They forget life and they got themselves into other things. There was a story that I just remembered. One professor, after graduation, we know how it is here in high school and such when they have reunions. The students that he graduated, they had a meeting. They met and they called their professor and they gathered together at his house. He was an old man, all of them graduates and everything. So he prepared for them coffee and he wanted to pass a message to them. Everything is different, everyone is doing something in his life. He made the coffee. When he brought the coffee, everyone, he asked him, what do you want to drink? Coffee is good. Everyone said coffee, this is what we want. So he decided on coffee. So what they are looking for is a cup of hot coffee. He brought the coffee and he brought cups with it, different kinds of cups. One gold plated, one silver, one stainless steel, and regular coffee cups. And he just put there, help yourself. He noticed that everyone is going for gold. When they ran out of gold, they went for silver, ran out of, and none of them used the regular coffee cup. enjoyed it. After that, he said, do you notice something, what you have done? They said, no, we did not pay attention. He said, what you really hear and what you're really looking for is a cup of coffee. You just want to drink coffee. Regardless in what the coffee is put. You're not going to drink the cup. You want to drink what's in the cup. He said, you paid extra attention to the container and you forgot the enjoyment of what you are really looking for. This is like life. People tend to look at things outside and they forget the things that they have. So they don't enjoy what they have and they cannot get what they are looking for outside. You are here. Whatever you have, enjoy it. Have fun with it. This is what you got. You cannot get the other things. So why you stretch yourself and your eyes outside and concentrate on things? Who cares about what house you live in? If this is what you have a sandwich, whether you live in a house or a room or anything, this is what you want. You want to eat. So eat that. This is what you got. Enjoy that sandwich and don't concentrate, oh, I would have a better feeling if I had a nice house. Or you are traveling, you're going to watch a show. You're going to have fun with the show. You're not going to have a fun in a ride. You're not looking for a ride. You're looking for something to get you to the show. This is your goal. So whatever car you have, who cares about it? As long as it gets you there. We start, when we talk about marital problems, we're talking about three things. Husbands, wives, and both of them. We have solutions for the husbands, solutions for the wife, and solutions for both of them altogether. We'll start by husbands. Note first of all, before we start, that there are three acts or three pictures that husbands don't like to see their wives doing. Number one, الزوج الاتكال, the husband who is relying on his wife all the time. Husband who feels that I am so busy, I got so much work, I am traveling, I'm doing this and that, leaves everything to the wife as if he has no responsibility. So the wife finds herself, I have to take care of the children, I have to feed them, I have to clean the house, I have to clean and to cook. When the child is sick, I have to make an appointment, I have to take him to the doctor, I have to take the children to school, I have to bring them back from school, and I have to teach the children and help them with their homeworks and everything, and the husband is so tired. Why? Because he works outside. Well, a message for the husbands. Know for a fact that if you think you have too much work, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had the responsibility of the entire ummah. And this did not stop him from doing what Aisha radiallahu anha described him. He used to fulfill and help in the chores of the house. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, who is in charge of everyone, who has a message to pass, he has time to sit at home and help his wife with her children. So this is number one. Wives don't like husbands who rely totally on them. Second picture, الزوج الطاعان اللعان, the husband who constantly cursing and cussing. Now, many wives, unfortunately, they are bombarded seriously with too many insulting words from their husbands in different kinds of the world, in different places in the world, for ridiculous reasons. Just a wife would do something, immediately the husband may call her stupid, may call her family stupid, may call her bad names, simply for ridiculous reasons. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ telling us, the best among you are the best who have the good manners. So, if a person does that, and you think that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has what he has, who am not for his wife, not for his servant, not for any human being. Rather, he used to say the other way. He used to command people to be good and to be kind and to have good manners. The third picture that the wife hates is that الزوج مع أصدقاء, her husband with his friends. تتساءل الزوجة أحيانا, the wife would ask herself, why does my husband leave the home that I have planned and prepared and done everything? This is his garden of Eden. This is his Jannah. He leaves it and he would rather go and sit with his friends and stay all night long, and he doesn't have time or doesn't really enjoy sitting with me. She would have that question in her mind because her husband constantly busy with his friends. Especially, she hears them on the phone or when they are at the house, talking to them, joking with them, laughing with them, and when he comes home, he is frowning, he is angry, he doesn't have anything good to say, and the woman goes crazy. And what does the person do? When he comes home, he doesn't do all of that. The woman feels like she is just a piece of furniture in the house. She doesn't have any value in the side, in the mind of her husband, the heart of her husband, being ignored. And his excuse, whenever something comes, the hadith and nisa, not bisaddi wa'ad. As I mentioned, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned certain hadith, like women are less in intelligence or in the brain than men, and less in faith because of the period. They don't have to pray, and because the testimony of two women is equivalent to one man. Many men misuses that hadith, totally ignore that hadith. If you remember, we talked about that, how the woman absorbed her husband when he used that. She shocked him when she was very patient and she explained the meaning of the hadith rather than attacking him back. Shuts him up right away. Now when we understand this hadith, we need to understand that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us about this hadith so we can deal with women in a fair way. So we can understand that women have more emotions than us, which means they require more attention than us, which means that we need to forgive them on many of the things that they do because it could be based on their emotion, because the emotion that they have is more than us. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said this hadith for the care of women. So men can really take care of women. Men understood it in a completely different way, taking advantage of it, and thinking that they are better than men. The husband needs to explain to his wife from the beginning what he likes and what he doesn't like to make her rest. Tell your wife, I hate this, I don't like this, make it easy. Always when you have a problem, remember what? The goodness of your wife. Remember immediately when she does something wrong, remember the good things that she has. Look at the command of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. لا يفرق مؤمن مؤمنا إن كره منها خلقا رضي منها آخر. Let no man hate his wife, because if he hates some of her acts, he would like other acts. She has goodness. So look at the goodness instead of constantly all the time looking at the negatives. Never tell your wife you are the reason. Whenever you have a problem with the children, it's you. You are the one who let them do this and that. You are the one who have no control over them. You are the one who made them do this and that. All the time, when you continuously tell your wife that you are the reason, she would hate you and hate living with you. Don't talk about something that you would regret. Many husbands, when they get angry, they say negative words, bad words, cuss words. They may even say divorce. And then after that, I don't mean it, I was angry, I'm sorry. Especially in front of your family or her family. Families are always waiting for problems between their children. Always, they cannot, sometimes it seems like they cannot believe that they're happy. You might find a mother coming to her daughter, is everything okay? Are you happy? Is he treating you good? Yeah, are you sure? Are you hiding something? Yes, you're just like, wow, I can't believe it. I'm not that good with your father. Then she might, that mothers get jealous of their daughters. Why? This is the most horrible thing that could ever happen. Is some women, if they see their daughter very happy with her husband, she gets jealous and she will do something to her when that happens. This is how persistent the jealousy in women. And this is one of the things that a man needs to understand in his wife. Her jealousy, or the jealousy of women in general, is so much, and some of them are worse than others. To find a mother jealous of her own daughter is very strange, but it does exist. This is what jealousy is. Don't deal with your wife like she is you. She's not you. You're a man and she's a woman. She has needs, you have different needs. So when a person deals with his wife like she is him, naturally, he's going to get so angry because he's going to expect her to be perfect with him and accept everything that he does. Remember also that her emotions are a lot more than yours. Here, there is something here. Look what some women say. Like a person, for instance, a woman, if you get her a rose for your wife, with a smile you give it to her, even if she doesn't like roses, even if she's allergic to roses, even if she doesn't like spending the money, but when she sees that, she will fly with happiness, because this expresses your feeling toward her. Look what some women say. I would rather have one rose with a nice smile than while I'm alive than a truckload of roses after death. You know how it is here. When the person dies, a lot of roses will be on their graves. So one rose right now, it makes a difference, because when you are alive, when the person is there, when the appreciation is reflecting in the smallest thing, a woman can this can make a difference for her. Look at the other things that a man can do, and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did to increase them. Drink from the same place your wife drinks. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did that. When Aisha used to drink from the cup, he used to take the cup and turn it to the place from where she drank, and he sips from the same place. Feed your wife. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ tells us that everything you do, you get rewards for it, even that piece of food that you put in the mouth of your wife. This is something different. It will definitely move your wife and appreciate you a lot more. Play with your wife. It's okay. You can run around the backyard if you have 8-foot fence. I don't know. In some places you are allowed to have 8 foot, some places no. You can run in the house. You can joke, hit and run, hide and seek, anything with the children. Because see, most of us, we tend, when we go over 30, I'm not going to say over 40, over 30, the person just wants to sit with a suit and a tie and sit right there, the children all around him, and the life is serving him and everything. Relax. Look at Prophet Muhammad ﷺ when he told Aisha, when he told one of the companions, did you get married? He said, yes. And he said, who did you get married? Virgin or woman who's been married before? He said, no, woman who's been married before. He said, فَهَلَّا بِكْرًا تُلَاعِبُهَا Why don't you marry someone who hasn't married before so you can play with her, she can play with you? What's the point here? The point here is play. I'm not trying to dispute who is better and why and all of that. This is not the place for it. But we're trying to say that there should be some fun time. When you remember, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ advanced the whole army so he can run with Aisha radiallahu anha, and not once, twice. You know, just reflect on that. You're going to war, and you have time to play with your wife, racing, twice. Yeah, first time we say, maybe he did it just, God knows what happened and he wants to please her. No, twice. Tell the army, move forward, and then he wrestled with her. He won one and lost one. Look how Aisha, when she talks about that, how she brags about it, and the impact that she had. And finally, advice for the husbands at time of problems: never mention divorce or threaten with divorce. Divorce should not even pop in your mind, should not come close to it, because a person who has divorce on his tongue, God knows if he is living with his wife in a halal relationship. Because many of them don't know the ruling of divorce, and they use it left and right, and they could be living with their wife and they are not even doing anything that is valuable or anything that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to women, advices for women when it comes for problems, the husband has an imagination before he gets married. He wants to find a woman whom will love him dearly, through whom he will have the peace and the serenity and the security and the love and the affection. This is how the man is picturing that woman when he gets married. And the question is, are there any of the women who desire to fulfill that dream to their husbands? I think very few. Why? Because they have the reasons. Immediately women will attack you and they will say, because men do this and do that and they don't deserve this and they don't deserve. But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're talking things that for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If any woman feels to do that, her reward is Jannah. What a big reward for something simple that a woman can do and then get the reward for the Jannah. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, simple prayers, simple fasting, simple chastity, and obedience to the husband gets you to Jannah, not one door, any of the 8 doors of the Jannah. Who is not willing to do that? Look at the importance of the woman in the life of the man. Half of his faith is completed when he gets married. Reflect on the first hadith that I have said, that the biggest trial after Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is women. If he marries that woman that he is so attracted to, half of his faith is completed. So you can understand that hadith in light of getting married, and tells you the magnitude of the influence of women on men. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ described the woman, the real righteous woman, when a man, her husband, looks at her, she pleases him. If he is absent from her, she keeps herself and chases herself, and she will take care of his children and take care of his wealth. And if we see that many women, in a negative way, they respond to all of those things. And personally, when a woman refuses to deal with that with her husband, one of the following, I think that those women have. They either don't care about the Jannah, simply because they're too ignorant about the Jannah, and they cannot picture the happiness and the price for that obedience to Jannah. Other one is they don't really value the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says something, that we need to submit and do it. Other reason, she really doesn't love her husband intellect upon her still exists. She may feel that she is less than her husband, and like she is a follower all the time, and especially in light of equality that we see nowadays, she wanted to be equal with her husbands. And just like I said, mainly, her husband is not fulfilling his rights toward her, not giving her her rights. This entails that she feels that she is fine if she doesn't get this, and each one will be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala separately. 3 pictures also husbands don't like to see from the wives. We talked about 3 that wives don't like to see from husband. Now the husband doesn't. Number 1, al-asrar az-zawjiyya. Husbands don't like a wife who spreads the secrets of the house and talks outside. And you find many of the women, whenever they have a problem with their husband, they immediately start talking outside. If you say, why are you doing that? Oh, because I am so angry and I am so mad and I need to relax a little bit. I need to let go. I need to talk to someone so I can feel good. Now what happens? She will ignore everything good and she will talk about everything bad. Things will come back together. All the people that she said the horrible thing about her husband, picturing her husband in a horrible way, at the same time, they see him together happy. You think they're going to believe them? They're never going to believe the feeling that they see because they already have the bad picture of the husband. Some of them, when they fight, she goes to her mother. Every little thing happens in the house, she tells her mother. And the mother immediately comes and attacks. Mothers don't give time. Very, very few who would just tell their daughter, you solve your problem. No, most of them, they go. And you need to adjust yourself with the mentality of the mother now. Now, when women complain to others, and others give solutions, those solutions are aside from the feelings between the husband and wife. You come and ask me about a solution between you and your spouse. I give you a solution, but I don't know your love to her and her love to you. So my solution is not based on that. So most of the time, it's not really a very good solution, especially if the person is not an expert with that. Or it's not like something, an opinion, a sharing opinion or such. So most of the people, they tell, like a woman would have a problem with her husband. Let's say her husband cussed her. She goes and tells her girlfriend. What her girlfriend is going to tell her? If I were you, I would just leave the house and never see his face again. But you're not her. She loves him. That's her husband. She's been with him 20 years. How could you tell her that? So look, she's coming to seek your advice. Look at the negative advice she gave because she got it from someone who doesn't care for her husband. She's not in love with him. The same thing with the husband. So you have certain acts that you really have to deal with it yourself before you can go outside. Now, there are ways that you can go outside, but usually you do it inside. The second one, Nazif al-Naj. You find the husband goes outside. He works, and he might put overtime. Maybe the job is not paying him well. He has to work harder, works in holidays and such, and give the money, and he has a wife at home who is so attached to name brands, so attached to, so jealous of her girlfriends. When she sees a table cover, something like that, she wants to buy like it. When her friend changes the furniture, she wants to change the furniture. When her friend buys a new car, she wants to buy a new car. When she sees her friend with new clothes, she wants new clothes. Her children the same way. Her closet is full of clothes. Her children's closet full of name brands. Everything is going, and the husband just sits there. He watches that hard-earned money being drained so smoothly in the hands of someone else. A husband doesn't like to see that. Husband likes to see his wife enjoying herself, but at least giving some account for the hard work that the husband is doing. And that is something that, as many women also don't care for and don't pay attention to. And if the husband, of course, says something to her, she will be crying. She will be telling him, I only did this and that, and how often do I do this? And she will be doing all kinds of things that the husband would regret that he ever told her that, and he would she will ruin his life. So what does he do? He remains silent, and all he has to do is watch his check at the end of the week, how much we have. We don't have any money. Where is the money? You know. The third one, al-ghira, jealousy. Jealousy is good sometimes. When a woman talks to the man, just normal talk, and the wife tells him something that she's jealous, he likes it. He likes to see his wife cares for him. And vice versa. Because she loves her husband, but when we're talking about something that goes beyond control, anytime he sees or he looks or anything, she blows out of mind. She goes out of mind and she starts doubting, and she starts following him, and she starts going through his phone book and the calls that he made and such. She would end up ruining his life, where she doesn't trust him at all, and he would hate her and would exit from that house as bad as he does when his mother-in-law is involved with that. One of those things that the woman needs to do is she needs to adjust her life according to her husband. Inshallah, in about 5-10 minutes we will conclude. Adjust her life with the life of her husband in order for her to live happy and to get the hasanat and the reward, the Jannah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised the woman. Look at the advice of this mother to her daughter. She told her that you have left your house and you went, or you're going to a new house, and you're going to be with a new person, a stranger to you. كوني له أرضا يكن لك سماء. Be his earth, he will be your sky. Be his floor, like in a house, he will be the pillars for that room. Be a slave for him, he will be a slave for you. Do not wrap yourself all around him, yani exaggerate with hanging on him and loving him so much, because he will start to detest you. And at the same time, do not stay too far away from him, yani ignore him. He will forget you. And if he comes closer to you, get closer to him. If he keeps his distance a little away from you, keep your distance away from him. Now, this is not general. It's not all the time when the husband just moves away from his wife. She's just want to move away. Then they will never. This is not at a time of an argument. This is normal life. If the wife sees that her husband comes and sits, and he wants to sit alone at his chair, she doesn't, he moves away from her, leave. But if they're fighting or something like that, it may be good to come and to sit close and to shake hands and to apologize and to do all of those things. It will increase the love. And she said to her, watch what he smells and what he hears and what he sees. Let him smell nothing from you except good smell, hear anything from you except good words, and see anything from you except beautiful. So a woman should seek the happiness of her husband. If the husband tells his wife, Allah yarda alayk, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with her, this is a great thing. This is as big as you asking your mother or your father to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with you. When your father or your mother say, Allah yarda alayk, or Allah yarda alayk, this is just as good if the husband says that to his wife. In fact, I don't want to say exaggerate and make it even bigger. Because Prophet Muhammad said, the husband is either your hellfire or your heaven. Through him you can go to Jannah, through him you can go to hellfire. So asking his pleasure is very pleasing to you, and inshallah, the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't involve yourself with his business. Don't go after his papers and start searching and looking. How much did you bring today? How much your account? How much you have this? What did you do? You don't need that, leave it, and get yourself out of all of those miserable things that get you nothing but problems. And finally, simple advices for the husband and for the wife both. When it comes to children, both of you have to agree. Do you want how many children, or do you want to have more children, or so? And know that the wife has the right with the children. In other words, a man should not isolate himself during sexual relationships from his wife, so she will not get pregnant. She has the right to accept that or to refuse that, because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us that, and also this is her right in the pleasure that she gets through that. So he has to ask her if this is okay or not. And another one is when it comes to wealth, the money. Agree together who is going to take care of what. If the wife wants to help, if she works, then agree if she wants to help in anything. And at the same time, taking care of the children. Okay, I'll take them to school, and bring them from school, and you take care of the homework, I'll take them to the doctor. Something to know that everybody has a share there, rather than one person is stuck with all of those things. And there's no harm if the wife works, and in return for her husband accepting or permitting her to work, to give them part of her salary. This is not haram, because his right is for his wife to be at home and to take care of him and to take care of the children. That's his right. Now, if he gives up his right in return for some of her salary, because he loses some of his rights, then it is acceptable if she wants to do that, and acceptable in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, both of them have to stay away from giving dirty looks to one another in places when some of them does not behave properly, or to use the tears like women use that to upset their husbands, or to prove to their husband that they are guilty and they are not the one who is guilty. And being quiet, many wives or husbands, they stay silent, and that really upsets the other person. This is like their punishment. When they want to upset the other person, they just don't answer them back. Stay away from those things, and remember that إِنَّ الرَّجُلَ إِذَا نَظَرَ إِلَى امْرَأَتِهِ وَنَظَرَتْ إِلَيْهِ نَظَرَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِمَا نَظْرَةَ رَحْمَةٍ فَإِذَا أَخَذَ بِكَفِّهَا تَسَاقَطَتْ ذُنُوبُهُمَا مِنْ خِلَالِ أَصَابِعِهِمَا. It was reported that if the man looks at his wife and she looks at him in a merciful way, and then he holds her hand, their sins would fall from between their fingers. So this is the relationship that you should have with your spouse. These are the practical solutions for the problems that may arise. As you can see, some of those problems, of course, we have talked about it when we talk about how to please your wife and how to please your husband. But at the same time, not fulfilling those is what makes the problem. So this is something, inshallah, to complete our topics with the beautiful, inshallah, and happy family that we are looking for. Inshallah, next time we're thinking about planning to talk about the rights of the husbands and the rights of the wives. Good topic. And then, after that, the grand finale, hopefully, after that topic will be, inshallah, the sex in Islam. Sex in Islam. When we talk about that, we talk about who? Husbands and wives. We'll see how the ahadith and the ayat and the reports of the scholars, of the companions and all of that, that is a topic that we all tend to ignore, and it is a vital topic, very important topic, that should be addressed in an Islamic way, everyone should understand it and everyone should act upon it because it is rewarding. As we know, it is rewarding, as Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us about that. We'll see how we can get into that topic, inshallah, after we talk about the rights of husbands and the rights of wives next time. Jazakaallah khairan, subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. If you have a quick question, we'll give you some time, inshallah.